You got it. All right. So we are going to do the impossible. We are going to graph an equation of a line in 20 seconds or less. But before we do that, we obviously are going to need an equation of a line. So just so you know that I haven't previously made the graph and doing some Promethean magic, making it appear, we're going to make up the equation right here. Okay? So what I'm going to provide is a y equals, and I'm also going to provide an x, but we need to fill in a blank here. We need to fill in a blank here. So what will our slope be? And you can make it tough. You can make it a fraction, but I would ask that you keep the numbers in the single digits, because that, my grid isn't that big, right? So, Quinn, give me a number.
8.
A?
8.
8. Okay, 8. All right. Would you want it to be a positive or negative 8?
Negative.
Negative. Okay. So we are using negative 8 as what? The slope or the y-intercept? Okay, so this is the y-intercept. All right. I need a fraction. It can be an improper fraction. It can be a just a common fraction. But we cannot have, we don't want a negative, or else we'll go a little bit off the grid quickly. Sophie?
3/7.
3/7. Really? 3/7. Only because you want 3/7. But the problem with 3/7 is I'm only going to be able to get 2 dots on the grid. But I can do, you want me to do 3/7 or you want to amend that?
Just do 1/2. Just do 5/8.
Do 13/77.
So, 2/3, okay. The trick here is the 7. It was the 7 that was going to make it difficult. 2/3. All right. So I'm going to attempt the impossible. I'm going to graph this equation in less than 20 seconds. And then we'll do another one, and we'll do it more slowly. Who is my official timer? All right, Emma. You are going to say on your marks, get set, go. You're going to have to say it loud enough so that the world can hear. And we will graph this equation in less than 20 seconds.
On your mark, get set, go.
I'm going to start with the y-intercept, which is negative 8. So I'm going to go down 8 on the y-axis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put a dot. Then I'm going to go up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. Up 2 over 3. And then I connect the dots, and I've graphed it. Time?
17 seconds.
Oh, 17 seconds. Thank you. Thank you. Very impressive. All right. So let's go back and deconstruct how I did this. True mathemagics. So the first thing I started was with the y-intercept. The y-intercept was negative 8. So I found where the line was going to cross at negative 8. So I went down from the origin 8 spaces and put a dot. The next thing I knew was that slope, which is conveniently referred to as m, because there are lots of m's and slopes, but mountains have lots of slopes, right? Is equal to rise over run. What is my rise in this problem? Well, my rise was 2. My run was 3. So that meant from my y-intercept, I would go up 2 to the right 3. So that's what I did. I went up 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. Up 2, 1, 2, over 3, 1, 2, 3. I had 4 dots, right? I could have gone this way, you're right. I could have gone backwards. I could have gone 1, 2, 3, down 2. And then all I have to do is connect the dots. Now, obviously, I'd rather use a ruler, but I was trying to prove that the impossible was, in fact, possible. And then you just connect the dots, and you have your equation graphed. Simple, really, quite simple. So let's do this again. We're not going to go for any speed records here. We're going to graph a linear equation, and we are going to get the equation from you guys. All right, Mr. Moore. please give me a number. Positive or negative, fraction or not.
42.
Now 42, we can do 42, but I mean, seeing as we're working with a 10 by 10 grid, we should probably pick something that is on the grid.
4.
Trajan?
9.
9. Okay. So let's go with y is equal to, we're going to have a blank here, x plus 9. So is 9 going to be our slope or our y-intercept? Okay. What's this blank going to represent here? This is the slope. Okay, could someone give me a negative fraction? Let's get wild and crazy. Let's have an improper fraction. But again, you know, we don't really want numbers that are too crazy big, or else we'll get off the grid pretty quickly. Sir?
11.
Oh.
No, sorry. 5 thirds.
5/3, okay.
Negative pi.
Negative 5/3, negative 5/3. Okay, so let's graph this together. What's the first thing I'm going to do? What's the first thing that I'm going to do so that I can graph this quickly and efficiently?
Where's the y-intercept?
Y-intercept, which is?
9.
So I'm going to count 9 up on the y-axis. Since it's positive, it's going up. So here's our origin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, we're just on the grid, barely. And now we have a slope of negative 5/3. What do I do from here? What do I do from here? Rise over run. What is my rise? What is my rise? Negative 5. So I'm going to count down 5 because it's negative. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then from that point, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go? I'm going to go to, I always go right, buddy. I always go right. How many spaces right do I go? 1, 2, 3. And the reason why I always want to move to the right, that allows me to always say that the negative is down and the positive is up, and then I always move to the right and I'll get the right thing, right? So from this point, what am I going to do to get my next point? Down 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now where? Now where? Right or left? Right. 1, 2, 3. And I put a dot. I think I have room for one more. So what do I do from this point? What do I do from this point? Levi? Will I be moving up or down?
Down.
I'll be moving down. How many spaces? 5. All right. So let's move down 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So from here, where am I going to go? Where am I going to go?
To the right. 3.
To the right, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. So I put my dot, and now I can connect my dots and make my line. Now, obviously, a ruler is preferred. And lines go on forever, so I should show that the arrows are continuing on forever. And I have successfully graphed the equation of a line. No fuss, really quite easy. Are you ready to try?